Though he's playing on the collection with the save assist.
Yes. So that doesn't matter to me.
We're also playing the collection on Switch.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, I'm pointing that out in case anyone was like,
Yes.
what are you playing this on? You might notice we own a Switch, so a lot of our recordings are Switch-based.
Well, I primarily stick to the sword. Getting some upgrades for the gun will be usable at certain points. So I'm going to try to level it up in certain stages, but I'm not going to go out of my way to grind. But because the gun starts with a basic level charge, leveling up the gun isn't that much,
And now that I'm talking about the Game Boy...
But also, another thing to talk on, actually cover the game. This game handles weaknesses different than other Mega Man games. Instead of specific techniques or weapons, you have elemental chips. There are 3 types of chips: electric, fire, and ice. Fire beats ice, ice beats electric, and electric beats fire.
Just like in Pokemon.
Yep, just like in Pokemon.
If anyone doesn't play Pokemon, the joke here is no. No, that is not the elemental weakness in Pokemon. Electric in Pokemon is not a weakness of fire. Actually, everything he said in Pokemon...
Okay, no, well,
Hold on.
fire does beat ice.
Okay,
so
okay.
That one.
Fire beats ice. Electric does not beat fire.
Yes.
Ice does not beat electric. However, fire does not resist electric. Electric does not resist ice. So, technically, ice beats Zapdos.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
why are we tangenting about Pokemon? Oh!
Because they're, Han, if you have the electric chip equipped, it turns your charge slash into doing electric damage, so you can just do that. Didn't even get to move.
That goes back to the thing I was going to talk about.
Which is...
Because it's one of my favorite things. Because I realized as a middle how cheap this is. Despite the fact that the Game Boy Advance was entirely capable of having cartridges with a save battery.
As shown by this game, the ability to save is not something added to this collection. The original games could do that.
Nickelodeon used password packs.
Yes.
The cheap whores.
Not just them. A few other companies actually also used password packs. Some companies, when they re-released...
Which is why
Some companies, when they re-released Super Nintendo games, they still had passwords. Now, you might say the original had passwords, and yes, that is true, but it still is kind of cheap to, you know, not try to take the time to update this.
Which is why I couldn't beat that one Jimmy Neutron game. Also, the Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron is just a terrible game.
I'm sure most of those are.
I don't understand the objectives! I need to actually look up how that game works.
Oh, I'm getting good RNG for once. Yes, those spikes on the ceiling are instant kills, so don't touch those.
I just remember getting stuck in the Negatron game. Well, one, it's a password pack, and two, I honest to God could never figure out...
Okay.
I honest to God could never figure out what you're doing in that game. That, and there's the other thing about that Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron that I will give them as impressive. It makes
to continue is not just as an adult, and I agree with some comment, Johnny, for this. I don't like the word nega now. When I say nega, I feel like I almost slip up and say a bad word you're not allowed to say anymore.
My nigga! Huh?
Anyway, you were saying about the...
It's like a 3D isometric platformer.
Ew. God damn, that Spiral game on the DS was awful when it did that, and that was DS. This is Game Boy. Oh, I can just feel the frame rate being in the single digits.
It's actually a surprisingly stable frame rate. But it's a really technically impressive, kinda ugly though.
Okay, also something else kind of interesting in this game altered the Mega Man formula slightly differently, to where instead of having it be 4 exact stages, it's actually a collection of missions, though because of the elemental weakness, because you get the electric first, you then have the mission I just played, the boss in that was weak, because it was that the core of the train that used the flamethrower, it was fire-based, so it was weak to electricity, though one of these bosses actually resists electricity. I'm trying to remember. I think Find a Shuttle is the mission you don't want. I think, god damn it, which one of these has the elemental chip? I don't remember. I think it's this one?
Going back to those Nickelodeon password pack games, and also it's Jimmy Neutron related, and this is just funny. The Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion game, the Game Boy version, as a child.
Wait, actually, this... Oh no, wait, this is a mission in the area I just played. Hold on, because I saved after, and I'm going to manually reload because I don't want to fight that boss again.
The Jimmy Neutron Jet Fusion game for Game Boy, as a child, I figured something out that was hilarious.
What?
As a child, sometimes I would just kind of flip through the manual and just look at the pictures. In the Jet Fusion manual, they give an example of how the password screen works. The password in the password screen on the manual works and is about like halfway through that game.
That's amazing. It almost makes you wonder if that was intentional.
Okay, it might not be half. It's 2 or 3 levels in. I think it's at least jungle level, and that was like stage 3 or 4. The point is, they put a working password in the manual.
That's why I said, I wonder if that was intentional or not.
Why was Nickelodeon so cheap?
Because of...
I also have a couple of Rugrats games that I also, as a child, could not for the life of me figure out.
Damn it. And this is why we keep save assist on. It is still on, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I love the Jet Fusion thing. Also, you want to know 2 things about my experience with the Game Boy? So remember, I had the fat Game Boy with no backlight. That was before I realized I needed glasses.
That sounds miserable.
No backlight, no glasses, no saving.
No, so something else that like is important to this level, as you can see, this was going back to the intro stage. After you beat this mission, you can't come back here, so there are some cyber elves here that are missable. Can you see that the first Zero game has a fetish for doing that?
Also, on the topic of Game Boy games and like saving and stuff, because like Nintendo actually put like save batteries and stuff in their games. And like the Pokemon games had save batteries, but one of my favorite things, because of the ingenuity to do this, and this is still one of the coolest things to me.
Oh, and I reload.
The Ruby and Sapphire! And I don't remember if it's just Ruby and Sapphire, the berry glitch where the timer would stop.
Also, this is a point where I'd actually like to sit down and talk about the names of the Zero bosses. The first boss was Aztec Falcon. That's kind of normal. Then we have this.
Ganeshwarif?
I'm pretty sure yes, because it's an elephant boss, so part of their design is based off the Hindu, that elephant-headed Hindu god.
I think it was Ganeshwarif.
He's also weak to the electric chip, because we're standing in water. Yes, this is the canon explanation.
Anyway, the berry glitch where the timer, after like a year, would stop counting properly, and it would screw up the berries with the internal clock because you couldn't grow berries anymore. So, Nintendo and like Game Freak had to patch a Game Boy game. And a lot of people might go, how the fuck do you patch a Game Boy game? they had 2 ways to patch it, both of which are incredibly cool. One, Fire Red and Leaf Green contain a patch, and in order to get the patch with Fire Red and Leaf Green, if you connect via link cable to Fire Red and Leaf Green, you can get the patch.
In this section, they at least have the courtesy to, like, despawn all the enemies, so you just focus on running away. Damn it.
And one of my favorite other ways to get the patch, they were Pokemon Channel and like that GameCube disc that's just like boxes, the extra discs related to like Pokemon Channel, like Coliseum and stuff. Those extra discs had a patch.
Oh, damn it.
In case you didn't have Fire
Fuck,
Red.
I didn't know those respawn. Shit, I'm gonna have to do the ending of that again, but doesn't really matter too much because they give you
I love that ingenuity.
Yeah.
They patched the Game Boy game.
On it. The reason I was backtracking, and while I'm not trying to get all the Cyber Elves, I'm at least going to point out when the game is an asshole about Cyber Elves. So, like, when we jump down this pit, there's something
Also, one of my other...
Something I wanted to point out, up there in that top corner, while the area as a whole gets covered off, so there's a Cyber Elf you can miss, there's a Cyber Elf that opens at the top of this, basically shaft, so, yeah, remember to go get that.
One of my other favorite things...
Also, those methods for patching, the berry glitch, that's just how they did it for America. In Japan, the Eon ticket was an e-reader card. The Eon ticket, I believe, for Japan also patched the glitch.
It's so cool! And if you connect Ruby and Sapphire and like Emerald to Fire Red and Leaf Green, you retroactively unlock a national dex.
Yes.
That means that they were planning Fire Red and Leaf Green in the time of Ruby and Sapphire. Now I'm just thinking about old things.
84 crystals.
Anyone remember video rental stores? Though we didn't have, like...
I think this is the mission I want.
We had Hollywood Video?
No. Even you're doing that now.
No,
we had Movie Gallery.
That was it. Movie Gallery, that's the one. Oh, yeah, we had Movie Gallery. Didn't have a Blockbuster, didn't have a Hollywood Video. We had Movie Gallery.
Which I've seen 2 other people on the internet acknowledge the existence of.
Because it was a brand.
Yes.
But I just laugh, because that's just... That reminded me of this, like... thing where someone was talking about kids today, it's like, don't understand the feeling of a show goes away for commercial and you run to the kitchen and your sibling screaming gets on while you like pole vault over the furniture, and then this kid replies, couldn't you just pause it? Oh, you sweet summer child. No. No, you couldn't.
No, you could, but you'd have to be paying for TiVo. God knows we weren't. And then companies got angry that TiVo let you skip ads, and like, didn't people sue them for like all the money ever?
No! TiVo does not let you skip ads.
Well, it
okay.
It lets you fast forward the commercials.
No, okay, hold on. There was no, let's backtrack, because there's some actual fun history. This other company, that the name escapes me, let you skip ads. And advertised that they let you skip ads. And that company was sued into the ground because companies didn't want...
Now, to be fair, for a microsecond, while commercials are annoying, kind of much like the ads on the internet, those unfortunately are kind of the backbone of, like, TV channels.
What TiVo did...
kind of need those to
TiVo advertised that you could fast forward what you recorded. They never said you could use it to skip ads. People just used it to skip ads.
Yeah.
And only, like, you know, millions of years later, when people tried to sue TiVo, they'd already made millions of dollars, and...
Also, this is one of the many problems with this game at points, fucking screen crunch. This, remember this mission for later. Or
At
remember
least-
this area for later. We will
Well,
be
I
back
like
here.
the native resolution to be maintained. At least they extended it
God damn it!
a little bit.
Hold that thought,
Yeah.
motherfucker. You want to talk about native resolution on, where is it? Screen layout. This is the native resolution on the fucking Game Boy. This is what you were working with.
Yeah. No, that was my point.
Now let's go back to... I can see.
No, that's my point. While I
Damn
like...
it!
Well, I like, and we talked about this in Mario 64, while I like native resolution being maintained, some slight blow up on a Game Boy game or like a DS game, I think...
I don't like this area.
Some slight blow up on a Game Boy or a DS, I think, is at least...
Because you... damn it, it's literally the tiniest fucking pixel that you'll see. Have to wait a minute.
Right there. Because we've talked about this, where as an adult, I realized sometimes maintaining the resolution keeps the game from...
Now, to be fair, with, you know, this being a 2D game as... oh, damn it. Whew, that almost gimped me. As opposed to a 3D game, their, like, native resolution in this instance actually doesn't matter as much. Also, you can destroy those, remember that for later.
I like the...
Oh, it's still...
vertical! The up and down.
Yes.
Because this would be fucked up if you set it to widescreen. Like those huge, like, Genesis collections and stuff. Get one of those, like, Genesis collections, set it to widescreen, and you'll notice sprite stretching. Oh, that remember back in the day, damn it, how the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection, where people were like, why can't this be on the Wii? And what was basically said is all of these Genesis games are in 1080 HD.
Even though that's a fucking lie. I believe the most that collection does is fucking widescreen.
Apparently they were all 1080 HD, and the
That's a
Wii...
fucking lie!
And the Wii couldn't handle 50 upscale 1080 resolution Genesis games.
But, it's a lie to fucking begin with. They're not upscaled to HD.
Apparently they were.
I've seen people talk about that collection. No, they're not. So I don't know where the hell the internet got that.
Other people said 50 Genesis games wouldn't fit on a Wii disc.
Also, like, because, you know, I'm playing the game and not caring about rank, I'm, holding a B rank on this. If you hold an A rank, another reason to not hold an A rank in this game, holding A rank gives bosses an extra attack, but in this game, it literally just makes the game harder. You don't get anything for holding it.
I just remember everyone said that collection was upscaled to HD.
Oh, they're wrong. God.
Because that collection wasn't on the Wii, and I was like, why can't they fit 50 Genesis games on the Wii? And the common-sided reason is apparently they were all upscaled to 1080p.
Like I said, this is a lie.
And the Wii couldn't handle 50 upscale Genesis games.
This is a bold-faced lie.
It's a lie, good sir. Sir. That dog won't hunt, sir.
Fuck that. If you were, when you're playing that, if you're at an A rank, whenever the boss opens, it will shoot small pellets at you. We get the fire chip. Yeah.
The Yokai Watch cartoon was meme to death.
I dropped to a C rank, but I get 69 points, so I'll allow it.
That dog won't hunt, sir.
Well, my rank's going to go down the toilet by the end anyway, because I'm going to at least use the double vitality. If I want to get any other cyber elves, it's going to be that one.
If you've never seen it, at least look up the Robanyan clips.
We would put a clip in right here, but that anime studio is notorious for copyright claims, so don't!
Robanyan likes butt stuff, and that's not a joke. I can straight out say that, and I'm not hyperbole.
Want to make it even better or gay butt stuff from a robot samurai from the future.
That's exactly how that goes down. And there's no embellishment. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, I thought this topic would be quick and interesting. How many of you agree with Carson about the screen crunch? Because I will agree it is egregious, which is a problem with a bunch of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. And also, Game Boy Color, I'm not forgetting that happened, but the Game Boy Color was basically just a regular Game Boy with color. So, of course, it basically has the screen crunch problems of the OG Game Boy, but on Game Boy Advance, quite a lot of games did suffer from screen crunch because the real estate is quite small. Blowing the games up in a collection like this, I do think is fine. It lets you see them a little bit more clearly because the actual OG resolution would have been quite small because a Game Boy screen is quite small. Now, if you played Game Boy games on a DS, that is a little bit more real estate for the DS models that supported Game Boy games. But on a regular Game Boy and even an SP, you're not looking at the largest screen. So if a game didn't compensate for that, screen crunch could be a problem. Now, in this game, it kind of depends on areas, but in the one specific mission, I do agree 100% with Carson that screen crunch was really bad. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute if you subscribe to the channel. If you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.